Welcome back, guys! I'm here with another episode of Bible Q&A. Today we're discussing, why are the last days so depressing? To understand this question, I need to go through a few things. One, we are currently living in the last days. We know this because all of the events attributed to the last days in Matthew chapter 24 are happening now, and all of the people that would live in the last days described in 2 Timothy chapter 3 verses 1 to 5, they are living now. For more information on this, check out our video The Last Day on our channel It Pays to Fear God. Second, we must know that the last days are depressing. Let's go back to Matthew 24. This chapter tells us that there will be wars, rumors of wars, diseases, natural disasters, and a decline in popularity for spirituality. This is a really depressing world for Christians, isn't it? Let's discuss why all these things are happening. If we look at Psalms chapter 110 verse 2, we see that Jesus would come in the midst of his enemies. Jesus has come to earth for many reasons, but the biggest one is to bring about the kingdom of his Father. As it was said in Daniel, "And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever." Daniel chapter 2 verse 44. We can also look at Isaiah chapter 9 verses 6 to 7 and Daniel chapter 7 verses 13 to 14. For more information on this subject, you can look at our video, The Kingship of Jesus Christ, on our channel It Pays to Fear God. Satan, however, already has a kingdom in this world. As it was said by St. Paul, "But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them." 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verses 3 to 4. We can also look at 1 John chapter 5 verse 19 and John chapter 14 verse 30. Satan is controlling the world right now. And for God's kingdom to be set up, he's going to have to leave and his kingdom will have to be destroyed. And he's not going to like that. He would try to just get rid of God's kingdom so his kingdom can rule unopposed, but that won't work because he's been defeated and most of his power has been taken away. As it was said in Revelation, "And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was there a place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him." Revelation chapter 12 verses 7 to 9. We can also look at Revelation chapter 11 verse 15 and 1 Corinthians chapter 15 verses 24 to 28. What can he do now? He can just make trouble for Jesus. That's all he can do until he is eventually destroyed. What happens is he causes people to not like the fact that Jesus has come. He causes them to not like Jesus' kingdom. They became angry with his kingdom, according to Revelation chapter 11 verses 17 to 18. This anger, of course, is not physical anger. What the Bible is saying is that the vast majority of the world's people will be ignorant of the kingdom and they will be opposed to it. They will be opposed to what it stands for. They will rebel against Christ's works for peace and righteousness. And of course, a mortal can't go up against an immortal in terms of intelligence, smartness, or anything. So when you try to reject a good spirit's ideas, even if you try to set up your own peace and your own intelligence, it's going to fail. That's why the world is suffering, because people think they know better than God when they don't. So nothing they do works. Their peace plans don't work and stuff. They can't look into the future and see how their plans will actually help man. Thankfully, though, Jesus Christ has told us that all this trouble that man's pride has caused is going to stop. As it was said in Matthew, "The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth." Matthew chapter 13, verses 41 to 42. My advice would be then to not worry about the depressing last days. We should be aware that these things are happening because God expects us to know about our world in order to serve him better in it. As it was said in Luke, "Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man." Luke chapter 21, verse 36. However, we don't actually need to care so much about them. We don't actually need to shake in fear at what is happening in the news. We should find hobbies and stuff to do to keep us occupied and distract us from all the bad stuff that's happening. We should enjoy the beauties of life and be thankful for what it is we have with our families and stuff. All this bad stuff is not going to affect us 90% of the time, and even when it does, God is always there for us. Even at death, God has a solution. As it was said in John, "Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming, in the which all that are in the grave shall hear his voice, and shall come forth, they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation." John chapter 5, verses 28 to 29. And that is where I'm going to stop with this Bible Q&A. Why are the last days so depressing? It's because Satan has influenced mankind to believe that they have the solutions to their problems, when in reality it is God who has those solutions. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe.